Hello everyone, welcome back to the Real Queen of the T33 channel. I am Tatiana. I'm here with the last month of February articles, okay? We'll be learning about Doomsday, prophecy, okay? I'm also going to give you the prophecies, okay? I know the Mayans, okay? They be trying to come to me. It's happening now, okay? The Doomsday prophecy is happening now, okay? So let's begin. A, dooms, a doomsday prophecy is a prediction that the world will end on a specific date or season. Doomsday prophecies are often based on religious texts and can be found in many world religions. Okay? For them, okay? Don't get scared, okay? Okay? I know when it really gonna end though, but just listen. How doomsday prophecies arise. Doomsday prophecies can be traced back to ancient mythology such as the Norse story of Ragnarok and the biblical apocalypse, okay, which is happening now. In the Bible, the book of Revelation contains prophecies about the future, including the inhabitants of enemies of God, which is us if you really roll with this, okay, with us. In Judaism, the term end of days refers to the Messianic age when the Messiah will come and the righteous will be restored. Okay, the one that's already in hell. Okay, the good ones. Examples of doomsday prophecies. In 1831, religious leader William Miller predicted that the world would end in 1843 with the second coming of Jesus Christ. Okay. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 is 7, okay? Yeah, like I said, the God number, okay? In 2012, some believe the world will end in a cataclysm of volcanic eruptions and floods on the day the Mayan calendar ended. Okay? True. Doomsday prophets. Doomsday prophets are people who claim to have a special ability to interpret the Bible to predict the end of the world. Okay. So let's begin with the article. All good rumors start with a whisper of truth. Discovering that truth is the gift that travel brings, because nothing compares to gaining knowledge firsthand on sight. Amen. That's what I chose. So far, my journey through Mexico has taken me to the place where the Maya calendar began, as well as the place of origins for the many myths about ancient Maya beliefs. All I needed now was to read the original Doomsday prophecy that so many people were talking about, which is also a movie. A good researcher always wants to get back to the primary source, which is exactly what brought me to the state of Tobocchio and the vibrant city of Virhosmoso. Despite all the speculations, urgent discussions, and global hubbub around the so-called Maya Doomsday prophecy, there is only one actual written record of such an event. That record is contained in the Monument 6 from the Maya archaeological site of El Tacugo, located in the Mexican state of Tabasco, about 30 miles southeast of Virhosmoso. Due to rising worldwide interest in the prophecy, the stone tablets was recently moved to Virhermoso and are now on permanent display at El Museo Regional de Esposi de Carlos Porcio Camaria. Yay! I did that. We did that. Named after the Mexican poet and traveler who first discovered the inscription in 1958. The museum is open to the public from Tuesday through Sunday. Thus, I arrived first thing on Tuesday morning. Just as the guards was unlocking the front door, I found the general lack of fanfare around the tablets a bit odd, given the worldwide excitement around the Maya prophecy, right? So we in the Matrix, the game, okay? Join or no, okay? Yeah, it's upstairs, yawned the docent, pointing up a floor, and there it was, bolted onto the wall, a flat piece of off-white stone that most of us would skip right past in most museums. The whole of Monument 6 consists of 3 rectangular slabs, which was originally placed on the back wall of a ceremonial building in Tortuguero in a T shape, a symbol that represents the wind in Mayan iconography. The decorated narratives of Monument 6 details the life and times of Lord Jaguar, Ahu Balaam, who were born in 612 after death AD. That's 9, and ruled from 644 to 679 AD. That's 14, 2, that's 5, so 22, that's 4. AD events from the past are also highlighted on the stone, such as wars, the dedication of new buildings, a great fire, and the opening of a steam bath. So basically for the Galatians, okay? But I know the real ones though. It is the final passage of Momentum 6 that draws so much interest, specifically the countdown from Lord Jaguar's life to the final dates of the 13 baton of 13 million. According to the Mayan long count calendar, that date is December the 21st through December the 12th. Okay? It's that girl, Rachel Jella. Okay, she the one who started this. Okay, that's when she joined Rising Trails. Okay, and she the one who pushing time back and stuff like that. Well, all of them is basically, if you go on their pages, you can just turn it down though. Starting at the actual carved inscription of the final passage of Momentum 6 was both exciting and a little overwhelming. Like any historical bluff, I find any bit of old writing pretty thrilling, but as a traveler in search of hard facts, I found the handful of Maya glyphs offered me very little to go on. You ain't lying. When all is said and done, the Mayan Doomsday prophecy boils down to 8 carved characters, of which half are crumbled and unclear. Academics still debate their specific meaning, but the translation offered at the museum is as follows. The 13 Bacton will end on the day 4. Ajal 3 Kakian will occur the descent of God Bolong Yokiti. That's it. No fire and brimstone or planetary collisions or global floods or polar shifts. Only a reference to Bolon Lokiti, who is one of the Maya gods associated with the creation of the universe. Who? Naming this particular deity, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? Opens up a whole new field for interpretation and speculation, since Maya gods can represent a whole host of meanings and events. Who? I have traveled all the way to Vilhusmaso for the true source of the Trinity Trail prophecy. What I found was a damaged stone, like a tattered corner, whipped from some old newspaper. Okay, 5. Okay, well, that didn't work. Printed with outdated headlines and one final cryptic sentence. Seeing the prophecy for myself popped the doom and gloom rumor balloon that surrounds 2012. But like all good clues, it left me with new questions. Specifically, who exactly is this Molong Lokiti, and what does his prophesied appearance mean for us? This is a very big question, one that I will try to answer as I continue to explore Mexico's Mundo Maya, which they cannot. And here is the predictions, okay? It's 10 of them, okay? Number 10, The Seekers, December the 24th, 1955. In December 1954, a headline in the Chicago Tribune read, Doctor warns of disasters in World Tuesday. What's to come in 1955? He declares, the Dr. Charles Lafheed was a follower of Dorothy Martin, a 54-year-old housewife from Oak Park III. Martin believed that aliens from the planet Clarion had beamed down messages informing her that a massive flood would soon destroy the planet. Her wild prophecies attached a small group of followers known as the Seekers, many of whom had quit their jobs and sold their belongings in anticipation of the end. They gathered at Martin's home on Christmas Eve, 1955, singing Christmas carols while they waited to be saved by the aliens and their flying saucers. As the night wore on, Martin's followers became increasingly impatient. Finally, at 4:45 a.m. on Christmas Day, Martin announced that God had been so impressed by their actions that he would no longer destroy the earth. The story has a side note that is almost as interesting as the prophecy itself. A small group of psychologists and students organized by University of Minnesota social psychologist Leon Fastenin infiltrated the seekers in an effort to study and better understand apocalyptic cults. Fasteners revealed his findings in the 1956 book, When Prophecy Fails, a social and psychological study of a modern group that predicted the destruction of the world. Amen. This work was an early exploration of the psychologist's now famous theory of cognitive dissonance, a term that refers to the human tendency to rationalize when one's thoughts and actions are in disagreement. Amen. The second one, number 9, is Mayan calendar 2012. The 2009 movie 2012 is a 158-minute showcase of apocalyptic eye candy with enough death and destruction to bring up the question, what's so bad about 2012? So 5. It depends on who you ask. The fear is based on the way some people interpreted the Mayan long count calendar, which is divided into great cycles lasting approximately 5,125 years. Okay, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 is 4. One of these cycles ends, so Frenny. Ooh. One of these cycles ends on December the 21st, 2012, giving some Doomsday, so 3, 3, 5. That's 11 too. Giving some doomsdays the ammunition that needs to declare the impending apocalypse. They also had numerous theories about how exactly the world would end. Some claim that a mysterious planet known as Nibiru, Planet X or Sirius, or a large meteor would collide with Earth. Right, you hear me? Another popular theory that the Earth, which is them that be I was telling y'all about, and the summons. Another popular theory that the Earth's magnetic poles will reverse, causing the planet's rotation to reverse as well. Yes, scientists had already dismissed these theories as laughable. They contend that if a celestial body was on a crash course with Earth, they would have already noticed it. And while astronomers recognize that the magnetic poles do reverse every 400,000 years or so, they insist that this event does not affect the Earth's rotation and will not harm life on Earth. Hell yeah, they probably already in Frenny 30 shit. Perhaps the most interesting part of this whole apocalypse fad is that the Mayans themselves don't expect that the world will end in 2012. Rather, they expect it to be a time of great celebration and luck when the planet completes the current great cycle. Number 8, Harewood Camping, May the 21st, 2011. So 9. Well, 6, y'all. No, it's 4. My bad, 4. The Bible is really clear about doomsday prophecies. But of that day and that hour, no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father, reads Mark 13:32. But that hasn't stopped some believers from trying to make predictions anyway. One such man is Harold Camping, a retired engineer who believes that the Bible is a numerical code book that can be deciphered to reveal clues about the end times. Camping, the founder of the independent ministry Family Radio International, first predicted that the world would end in September 1994, which it did, but when the apocalypse failed to materialize, he attributed the effort to incomplete research. Well, October. Camping recently gained additional attention for his latest doomsday prediction, May the 21st, 2011. In an interview with New York Magazine on May the 11th, 2011, the 89-year-old was brimming with confidence, saying, God has given so much information in the Bible about this and so many proof and so many signs that we know is absolutely going to happen without any question at all. Camping was so certain that his ministry spent millions of dollars plastering the Judgment Day message on more than 5,000 billboards and 20 recreational vehicles as a warning to the general public. When May the 21st came and went without interruption, Camping did what any good doomsayers would. He blamed the mistake on a mathematical error and moved the date back to October the 21st. Okay. Number 7, William Miller, 1843 to 1844. When Miller and Millerites may sound like a good name for the 1960 pop-up, but in 1840s they were a fairly successful doomsday cult. That is, if you measure success by the number of followers, not the eventual occurrence of the predicted apocalypse, Miller was a product of the Second Great Awakening, a period of intense religious revival from which several modern dominations were born, including the Mormons and the Seventh-day Adventists. A farm-turned-preacher, Miller increased his rave of spiritual fervor with his prediction that Jesus would return to earth in March 1843. He derived his prophecy from a complex system of mathematical calculations and promoted by giving sermons and passing out pamphlets. During the 1830s and early 1840s, scholars estimated that of the some 1 million people who heard his message, about 100,000 actually chose to follow him. As March 1843 neared, many of the believers sold all of their possessions, donned white robes, and climbed to the top of mountains and hills to wait their rapture into heaven. They said that mean they sold, yeah. That's what they mean. They gave all their possessions, but they sold it. They sold themselves. They sold, okay? And it's time. When nothing happened, Miller moved the date to October 1844, which also proved to be a bust, leading some to label the non-event the Great Disappointment. Most of the preacher's followers then abandoned him, and some went on to form the Avengers Church. Next, the Halley's Comet, May 1910. A unique astronomical event is a surefire way to inspire a doomsday prophecy. Enter Halley's Comet, a ball of icy dust that is visible from Earth every 76 years. When this celestial body was scheduled to make a pass in 1910, the claims of impassioned astronomers at Chicago Geeky observation inspired fear in a surprising number of people. They insisted that the comet's tail was made of poisonous carbonic gas, and when Earth passed through it on May the 18th, yes, I already did. In my way, though, yes, like they do in their way. The toxic fumes will cause widespread death. Some Apocalyptians tried to profit from the historical selling comet pills, masks, and bottled oxygen intended to help people survive the Norris Armageddon. As the deadly date approached, some concerned citizens stuffed towels under their doors and covered their keyholes with paper to protect themselves from the gas cloud. Others refused to go to work, choosing instead to stay at home with their families or seek refuge in their churches. Conversely, those who were not taken by the apocalyptic predictions watched the night pass without incidents at rooftop comet parties held across the United States. 5. Large Hadron Collider, 2009-2012. To anyone without a particle physics degree, the Larger Hadron Collider, LHC, may seem like a scary piece of advanced machinery. The massive particle accelerator circular tunnel located just outside of Jena, Switzerland, measures 17 miles, 28 kilometers in total circumference. It can send hydrogen protons crashing it on one another nearly of the speed of light, allowing scientists to discover new elements and particles that may shed light on the creation of the universe. That is, if everything goes as planned. Some theories suggest that the massive energies created during such collisions could potentially form black holes capable of engulfing the entire planet. These fears came to the head in March 2018 when Walter L. Wagner and Louis Sancho filed a lawsuit in a U.S. court to stop the LHC from beginning operation until scientists produced a safety report and environmental assessment. While most scholars acknowledge the possibility of black holes, they dismiss the danger, and we actually do. They dismiss the danger since that any such anomaly will only last a matter of seconds, hardly long enough to swallow the earth. Despite the catastrophic, researchers fired up the LHC in 2009 and have accomplished some remarkable feats, including the creation of a supermassive matter thought to resemble the conditions of the universe just after the Big Bang. By the end of 2010, no black holes have been detected in the LHC, but according to doomsayers, that doesn't mean we are in the clear. Something could always happen before scientists conclude the project in 2012. Okay. Number 4, Shoko Asterisk, 1997 to 2000. Why wait for the apocalypse if you can make it happen yourself? You hear me? This was the mindset of the Japanese doomsday prophet Shoko Asterisk, born Shuzu Masa in 1955. What does it mean? Asterisk was completely blind in one eye and partially sightless in the other. He rise as a cult leader began after he was arrested in 1982 for selling fake curls from his traditional shiny optical business. It is not fake. Don't do me. The would-be prophet reportedly crushed by the incident, which left him embarrassed and bankrupt. Not really. In 1984, Ashray opened a yoga studio, boasting that he had Shistoria, a Japanese term for enlightenment, and claiming that he could levitate. He established the Shokra religion in 1987, a name derived from a sacred Hindu symbol and a Japanese word that translates as supreme truth. He soon gained more than 10,000 followers in Japan and 30,000 to 40,000 in Russia, and even produced several candidates to run in the 1990 Japanese legislative elections. As actual success increased, his behavior became increasingly peculiar. He began encouraging his that's not me now. He began encouraging his followers to drink his bath water and blood and claimed that he could save them from the apocalypse, which he believed would occur after a poison gas attack sometime between 1997 and 2000. Perhaps in an effort to speed along the process, armed members boarded 5 trains on March 20th, 1995, releasing toxic sarin into 3 subway lines. The attack killed 12 people and injured another 5,500. Asherwood was soon arrested by Japanese authorities and sentenced to death in February 2004. Next, number 3, Heaven Gates. Marshall Applewhite, with his piercing right eye stare, looks like a man who was destined to lead a doomsday set. He was the leader of Heaven's Gate, a cult founded in Texas during the early 1970s. The group soon moved to the American Southwest, where Applewhite began to preach about a spaceship that would spare true believers from the apocalypse and take them to the heavenly level above human. After 2 decades paralyzing in the desert, Heaven's Gates moved to California, where they started a web consulting business called Higher Source to fund their activities. There they live in a sprawling Spanish-style house and reportedly watch episodes of X-Files and Star Trek religiously. Heaven's Gate took a grim turn in 1997, the year that the comet Hale-Bopp shined brightly in the night sky. It was also on November 14, 1996, when Applewhite and his followers were listening to Art Bell's Coast to Coast, a radio show dedicated to UFO topics. During the program, an amateur astronomer called in and claimed to have photographed a mysterious object hiding in Hale-Bopp's tail, which they do all the time. This was all the evidence that Applewhite needed to confirm his spaceship prophecies from the 1970s. He and his group soon began preparations to board the UFO through the execution of mass suicide. You ain't lying. When people entered the California compound on March 26, 1997, they found 39 bodies dressed in black tunics with a cloth draped over their heads. They had killed themselves with a cocktail of vodka and barberries, or by smothering themselves with plastic bags. Number 2, Y2K 2000. Did not end the world, but it did create headaches for some of it professionals, which is me, IT. The year 2000 sparked a number of doomsday scares, but none was more prominent than the supposed Y2K computer glitch. Ooh, amen. The problem was this: when computer codes were first written, dates were abbreviated to 2 digits in order to save memory. For example, 1998 would simply be written at 98. This system was just fine until 2000, when the date code 00 threatened to cause inaccurate calculations. A 1998 feature stored from Microsoft offers an excellent example to illustrate the perceived problem. For example, say you buy a new refrigerator in 1999 with a credit card. The bank will run into problems in 2000 when it tries to calculate the interest owed and subtracts the transaction date 99 from the current date 00. The computer is going to come up with the number -99. Some people believe that this glitch will cause apocalyptic consequences. According to the gloomy predictions at the stroke of midnight on January the 1st, 2000, airplanes will drop from the sky, elevators will plummet from the tops of the skyscrapers, and the world economy will come to a screeching halt. In response to these fears, the U.S. government and American corporations spent a total of $108.8 billion on Y2K computer fixes. In the end, nothing fell from the sky, but the world's computer did manage to disrupt some credit cards terminal in Britain and send out some bills, supposedly due in 1900. You hear me? To the relief of billions, civilization survived almost completely unscattered. Ooh. Okay, last one, number one. The sun becomes a red giant 7.6 billion years from now. I ain't gonna lie, he showed me a dream. I seen that in hell. When I was 17, I seen that vision. It said it was the moon, though. The moon was red. Okay? Not all apocalypse predictions are steeped in religious fever or science fiction. Some are based solely upon respected science. Yes, I respect your science. Most scholars agree that 7.6 billion years from now, the sun will enter its red giant phase when it had converted all of its hydrogen into helium. Okay? I love helium. That shit makes me laugh. Give me some. This will cause the sun to expand to a size 20% greater than that of Earth's orbit and shine 3,000 times brighter. Once this stage is complete, the sun would then collapse into a white dwarf. Whether this process will actually destroy the planet is a topic of debate in the scientific community. If Earth were to stay in its current orbit, it would undoubtedly be engulfed and vaporized by the expanding sun. I really just want to do it because I want to get high. However, as the sun swells, I like it though. It will also lose mass, meaning that Earth will drift further away from it and perhaps escape total destruction. Either way, this process will destroy life as we know it. That is, if there were any life left to destroy. Okay? And those are the predictions. I'm gonna read these key takeaways right quick. The widely publicized 2012 Mayan calendar, the Y2K bug, and more ancient and modern prophecies predicted the world's end, but ultimately did not come to pass. These predictions range from religious or mythical interpretation to astronomical events to technological concerns. And last one, despite the failures of the predictions to modernize, the fascination with Doomsday prophecies persists. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the article on the Doomsday prophecies. Enjoy. I'll put all of that in below.